Light them up. Which is what we do in practice, isn't it? To light them up from the inside out. We are really, really blessed to be able to do something that allows people to get lit up within their lives. I love, like many of you, love what I do. I love, if you will, to light them up. A person starts care maybe about 6-7 months ago, and he came in and we did an evaluation, showed him what was going on with his spine, gave him an opportunity to participate in his health, improving it by staying under chiropractic care. He was contemplating signing up for a year plan, which is what we do in our practice. Most people commit for a year. And he was oscillating back and forth, and one day he comes in, he says, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "Sure." So we go in the back room. I'm in an open concept. And he says, I know you do a lot, you travel and do a bunch of things. He says, "Are you retiring?" And I said, "Well, you've been here how long?" He says, 4 weeks. And I said, "Do I appear like I'm getting bored at this?" He said, No, you're just not here." And I said, "The things you do for love." I said, take this away from me, you may as well cut my arms off. He said, "I just want to make sure you're not going to retire." And he signed up for a year of care. So I'm not planning on retiring. Actually, what are we into? It's about transformation, isn't it? Transforming people's lives. Do you want me to answer it? I love it when people come in and their phone is down and the phone rings. I say, "Can I answer?" And they're like, look at me strange. And if they don't say no, I pick it up and say, "Hello." And I'll say their name. I said, Mary Jones, private line. I said, "Who's this?" And I said, "This is the person who has their hands all over Mary's body right now." They're dying on the table. It's like, "Huh?" And I said, "It's her chiropractor." "Oh, okay." Did you want me to answer? No, okay. Oh. That could be fun. Our philosophy, I remember being in chiropractic school and getting, or thinking I was getting, our philosophy. In philosophy class, at seminars I would go to, speakers I would go to, and I realized the power, not just of what we did at the table to correct nerve interference, but the power of our philosophy. That inside-out viewpoint, to recognize that there's an intelligence that holds this universe together, that holds a body in integrity, is such a big idea. I thought I understood chiropractic when I graduated chiropractic school. I thought I understood chiropractic 10 years into practice. I thought I understood it 20 years, 30 years in practice. And I can say real clearly, after 34 years of practice, I have no idea how big this philosophy is. Because every time that I think that I know it, the bar moves a little further in terms of its appreciation and understanding its magnitude. When I was first in practice, if people didn't see things the way that I saw things, I made them wrong. You're going to give what to your kids? You're going to put pus? You realize what's in those vaccines? You're going to put tubes in their ears? Do you realize that you're creating a vector for those things to get in there that wouldn't have been there before? My perceptions of how people were supposed to live and make decisions for their body got laid on them, and if they didn't do what I did a good job. No, I did a great job of making them feel like crap. And I remember any time that there was an interaction like that, my recommendations for you were 3 times a week for the first 3 weeks. I said, you've only been coming in every once or twice a week. I said, do I care more about your health than you care? I would do stuff like this. And every time that I did it, there's a part of me that felt like crap. And I realized, who am I to judge another person? Because the moment that we judge another person, on a certain level we make them wrong, don't we? Anybody here like being judged? Anybody here like being made wrong? It becomes very evident with your kids, doesn't it? When you try to have your kids do something different than you see it, they become wrong. they feel judged. And I know my kids were my greatest teachers in life. Kids teach us about our inside world as we prepare them for the outside world. They teach me my incongruencies, bless you. They teach me how I make them wrong. And how do I create affinity and loving relations with anybody when I'm making them wrong? So it's this delicate dance, isn't it? Of wanting somebody to see things in a different way, to make responsible decisions for themselves as my child or as my patient, my practice member, as my spouse, as my friend, versus making them wrong and telling them, you stupid. Matter of fact, I started a club a couple of years ago. It's called the FS Club. What are you, fucking stupid? I mean, it's like we all know people who are part of that club. We've all been part of that club. But how do we bring healing into a situation when we're judging people, when we make them wrong? It is a very delicate dance. It becomes our job to find effective means to communicate, to educate, to inspire people to see things maybe in a different way without making them wrong. What would happen if there was total transparency in who I was to you? If you could see through me behind the intention of every word, behind the intention of every act. What if you could be inside of my brain to perceive what I see? And you say, well, when I see him doing that, it looks really stupid, but that's how he sees it. Changes it, doesn't it? If I could see inside your brain, if we could be totally naked with each other, God forbid, not physically, what kind of world would we have? There are a lot of things that I do. Any of you who know me say, how does he do all the stuff that he does? He's on the board at Sherman, he's at the board of the ICPA and the IFCO, he's full-time practice, a wife, kids, travels, all that stuff. How does he do all that stuff? I used to feel that my responsibility in life was to do things, to get things done. And I began to look at it and say, am I what I do? Do I create my identity by what I do, or what I accomplish? Do I create relationship with you and you with me by what we do? You see, I think you will respect me. You may not agree with me, but you will respect me for what I do. But you will only love me for who I be. It's my beingness, the intention behind everything that I do, that allows you to enter into intimacy with me and me with you. What if everyone could see what you see? How you look at the world? If they could, how could they not love you? How could they not be inspired by you? You see, I propose that in all the doingness that you do, that I do, that when it's coupled with a state of beingness and transparency to the world around you, the power of what you do moves mountains. Greg Braden said, when thought, belief, and emotion become one, you will say to the mountain, move, and it'll move. I believe that as beings on planet Earth, we have an incredible power. It's to be who we are, and not to define ourselves by what we do, but who we be. What would happen if you took away your children, your occupation, your cars, your money, all your activities, take them all away, what would be left? Who do you be? What is your identity? Because that's the being that transforms lives. That's the being that leads into intimacy. That's the being that's behind every adjustment. And whether conscious or unconscious to the person on the table, they know that. You've all been around somebody that when you're around them, you just know the integrity of that being. People know outside the conscious mind. Who do you be? We have a beautiful profession with a beautiful philosophy and a beautiful service. And we have some challenges. A couple years ago, I had the joy of being able to go to a meeting for the Federation of Chiropractic Licensing Boards. At that meeting, I sat there and I realized where the chess game was. How the paradigm of how I live in my practice, how Patty and I practice together, the story and the message that I bring to the world, my affiliations with all the organizations that I'm part of, that the likelihood of any of that continuing to thrive is very, very, very unlikely. As a matter of fact, the rational mind says it's impossible. And I developed an affirmation after that, which I've carried with me this year. Usually my affirmations that I carry through a year are these uplifting, it's all good, it's all real good, it's phenomenal. This year, we're fucked. But what did it just do to you? It was an interruption of the pattern, wasn't it? And every time that I'm in a situation, I'm at meetings, I'll make the comment, they'll say, Peter Kevorkian said, fuck, oh my God. But it wakes people up. I'm in genuine belief. I'm more optimistic of the health and well-being and the integrity of this profession than I ever have been in my lifetime. I have more drive, more passion to do whatever it is I can to serve this world. Jim, could you come up here for a minute? Jim. Yeah, Jim Dubell. You know, you all know you. You know who you are. You know who you be? I know, that's why I got you up here. Jim is going to be a symbol for a moment. Just stay right there. I'm going to put in here everything that is precious to me about our beloved profession. All my beliefs, my understanding, the purity, the sacred trust, all of it, I'm going to place in this container. I'm going to give that container to Jim. And I know, without one iota of doubt, I could look at with Jim Dubell and walk away for a year, 10 years, 20 years. And I will come back and it will be as pure as when I gave it to him. If anything, it will be better. Thank you. You can sit down.
That was it?
No, that's it. The point comes across now. There are not many individuals in our profession that I can do that to. I want to be able to give it to you, every single one of you. I want to be able to give it to every one of my colleagues. I strive to do it for myself. What I'm asking you to do is to be the person who can do that. Be the person of holding things in integrity. Be the chiropractor that you've strived to be. Because it's in that state of beingness that this will indeed remain sacred and pure, unsullied, to be able to transform the lives of humanity. You can only have this moment. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. You can't breathe for yesterday. And you can't breathe for tomorrow. You can only breathe for the moment. I believe that every adjustment we give increases the breath of life within the physiology. It brings that nervous system, that being, into the moment. To be in the moment. To allow the perfect unification and expression of their beingness with every adjustment we give. Allowing them to perceive themselves, be themselves, feel themselves in the moment. All we have is a moment. That's what's yours, what's mine. We make the choice of how we show up in any moment. I'm going to ask you to be in that moment. Be who you are meant to be. Be love. Be a chiropractor. Thank you.